computer. And then we'll make you download.
And then pretend that you're just starting all over.
It's recording. Right? Yep. Perfect. So there's this paperclip that this story that I read about 10 years ago. I'll get in that here in just a little bit. First, what we're going to go ahead and talk about is the story of how I got started. It's not clicking. Technical difficulties. Hold on one moment. I guess we'll just do it that way. Okay, so 6 years ago, I was that guy in the bathroom with more hair and armpit hair, but I started taking 24 and it all fell out. But it was 6 years ago, and I was working out, and I thought I was real tough. I was even wearing like a compression shirt to the gym. And now I like picture myself as that guy at the gym that I'm like, what is that poor guy doing? I should go tell him he looks like an idiot. So that was me. But then went in, I had a guy. So he came in and gave me an invite. Okay, one of my clients, financial planning clients, came in because he knew I was working on losing some weight. I came in here to Lifestyle Nutrition, and I had a Snickers shake. So from then on, with my nutrition and with my workout routine and fitness, I went on to lose 45 pounds. I was able to keep it off for now almost 6 or 7 years. What ended up happening at the very beginning of that, because everybody has a story, and usually it's the lady that wants to make changes, and it's the grumpy guy that still wants to eat whatever he wants to eat. What ended up happening is that I was the person trying to make the change, and my wife, Evie, was absolutely having none of it. Like, she wanted no change whatsoever. She wanted to eat her 2 plates of spaghetti with 4 slices of garlic bread. And I'm like, I'm just going to eat like a half a sweet potato, a little bit of meat sauce, and that's what I'm going to do. So I went on to continue to make change. Evie saw changes in me. My energy picked up. She tells people, I don't know why it's such a big deal to her, but I know that taking out the trash is a big deal to her because she always tells the story that instead of stepping over the trash, I started taking out the trash. I still fall asleep on the couch, but that's for different reasons. But I am much more active than the kids. I want to go out and play all the time. We want to do things. We have an absolute blast together. And so I went on to lose that 45 pounds. And that picture was shot last year on my birthday. This year on my birthday, I was still recovering from sciatica. So what did I do? What could I control since I couldn't control my fitness? I could control my yoga. Lots of stretching. What else could I control? I could control what went in my mouth, because it was about 8 or 9 months of me not being able to do my thing that I like to do. But what I could do is control everything that went in my mouth, and luckily was able to stay intact with the way that I feel and the way that I look without losing a whole lot, even though I couldn't do the resistance and the training and all the stuff that I like to do. So Evie's story is a little bit different. After she saw her husband make these incredible changes, and she was absolutely so attracted to him, she decided to make changes on her own. We always hear that story from women all the time that say, I've had babies, and I'm also in my 30s now, and I'm in my 40s now, so my body just won't do whatever it used to do. My metabolism's slowing down because I get older. Well, that's not even real. Like, it's all things that we've been told, that we believe because that's what we've been told, and we've never actually learned anything ourselves. What Evie did is she goes, look at that belly. I mean, that's ridiculous. What's even more ridiculous than that was when she was at the gym. It was like a day before, like walking on the treadmill. And I remember she would call me. She's like, there's people here giving me dirty looks. And right, because she was that really, really pregnant lady getting ready to pee on the treadmill. So she ended up having the babies, and then she got a 6-pack. And right, she's always working on her results as well. But the thing that she loves most is the energy and focus she gets with her kids and her husband and the people around her. So that's like, it always kind of builds into that extra energy, right? So what ended up happening then is, so all of a sudden this thing, we get results. My parents get results. My dad loses 50 pounds. My mom loses 120. My sister loses 12. We have friends starting to lose pounds. We have somebody that asks us, well, hey, I heard you could do a business with it. We're like, we don't want any of that. We don't want to do the business. After that, what ends up happening is this girl goes out and starts to do the business. Evie gets a how much check? $46 check in the mail and tries to send it back to Herbalife because she thought it was like one of those coupon rebate or instant loans or whatever. So she tried to send it back. They're like, no, that's your royalty. We're like, I don't know what that is, but whatever. So Evie just said, I'm going to buy some more product with it. Heather's talking to us about starting the business. We're like, we're not starting the business. For 3 years, we told people we weren't starting the business. And during that 3-year time period, we qualified for 3 all-expense-paid trips, which was crazy. In her first year of the business, she earned $36,000. We paid off a ton of debt in that first year because I was still working full-time. So that money we didn't even look at. Like the checks just went in the bank. We didn't even care. Like it just was going in there. We didn't pay attention. So imagine if like you are able to just accidentally tell people you're not doing the business for like 3 years and this cool thing happens, right? Because it was our heart that was in it, right? We really wanted to help people and serve people, but now we're very adamant, right? We're very adamant we're in this business because what has it done for us? Look at the gifts that it's given us. Healthy kids, healthy relationships. It's given us trips. Punta Cana 3 years ago, and we're tracking to hit Punta Cana coming up here soon. So next year, we're very, very excited about that. But let's go back to the paperclip. So that paperclip, this guy, he had this red paperclip, okay? So we go back to the fantastic red paperclip. He had this paperclip. What did he do with the paperclip? He actually made a Craigslist post. And he thought, what could I do if I traded this red paperclip for something? What would somebody give me in return for a red paperclip? So a person traded him for a fish pin. So he got a fish pin. Okay, so whatever, you know, that's kind of fun. So then he puts the fish pin on Craigslist. Another person replies back and says, actually, I'll take that fish pin. What I need is or he traded the fish pin for the doorknob right there because they're like, oh, that fish pin looks fun. It goes with a collection of other fish pins and weird pins that I have. So he ended up getting a doorknob, okay? So he puts it on Craigslist. A guy says, you know what? I need that doorknob for my house because I have this perfect door and it's got some weird stuff on it. That doorknob will go perfect on my door. I'll give you a camp stove to get that doorknob because I don't need it anymore. Great. So he goes and gets the camping stove. Well, a guy's like, hey, I really need that camping stove. And again, remember, he's putting all this on Craigslist. I need that camping stove. So I'll trade you a Honda power generator for it. He's like, okay, let's do that. So he trades the Honda power generator. Oops, wrong way. So the Honda power generator, somebody trades him they said, I have a keg and I have a Budweiser sign from my basement. So what the guy did was he built it and put it onto this keg and he ended up calling it an instant party. So then he goes and he puts this instant party concept on Craigslist, okay? So then somebody's like, oh, and an IOU to fill the keg full with beer. So this guy that had lots of not jet skis, but snowmobiles, right? This guy has lots of snowmobiles. He thought it would be fun to have this thing that this guy was trading because it was a novelty, and this was his worst snowmobile. So he goes, I'll trade you my worst snowmobile. The guy had like 8 or 9 of them. So I'll give you my worst snowmobile for that instant party. So he trades for the instant snowmobile. Somebody then says, I will take that instant snowmobile and I'll take a trip. I'll trade you a 2-person trip to Yak in Canada. It's like, all right, never been to Yak. Let's go ahead and do this. So he trades it, puts that on Craigslist. Somebody says, actually, I'd like to go to Yak. The only thing that I have is this old box van that I bought. Okay, so he takes the box van, trades for this 2-person trip to Yak. Then he takes the box van and he trades it for a recording contract. Okay, so a real recording. He's like, man, now we got some value. Like somebody really would want to do something with this recording contract. Puts it on Craigslist. Just so happens that a gal that owns a duplex in Arizona wants to trade that recording contract for a year's free rent. Okay, so now he's got this year free rent. Well, then this other gal sees that year free rent and she's like, you know what? For that year free rent, what I will do is I will get you a meeting with my boss. And he's like, who the heck is your boss? It's Alice Cooper. So he goes and he is able to meet with Alice Cooper later, but he's got this Alice Cooper deal. He calls him and says, listen, here's what I'm doing is I'm trading to see what I can do. So I'm not going to meet with you, but I do want to trade the value of somebody meeting with you. The guy's like, whatever you do, don't trade me for another band like Kiss or Guns N' Roses. Don't trade me for another band. He's like, okay, I won't trade you for another band. So what he ends up doing, and this is later on, kind of a novelty deal, but he's on stage with Alice Cooper. But he ends up trading the day with Alice Cooper for a Kiss snow globe. Now, at this time, everybody is absolutely trolling him because now this guy's obviously created a blog, right? He's created this movement. People are following him. They're watching his blog. They're starting to participate and help him out, right? So he is posting stuff on Craigslist, but all of a sudden he's got a movement. Like people are watching to see what he can do with all these trades. So he takes his Kiss snow globe and he trades it for this, or trades the Alice Cooper for the Kiss snow globe. And then this guy calls it, okay? Does anybody know who this guy is? Does he look familiar?
Corbin Burnson.
Corbin Burnson, actor, movie producer. Calls him up on the phone. He goes, hey, listen, I saw that you have a snow globe. I'm interested in trading the snow globe for a part in a movie. He's like, you're kidding me, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, what? Now this guy had no idea who Corbin Burnson was. Okay, the guy doing all the trading, didn't know who he was. Looked him up. He's like, oh heck, look at this guy. Turns out that Corbin Burnson has one of the largest snow globe collections in the world. Okay, so he trades the snow globe, gets the part in a movie. Then he ends up trading for a house. Okay, and that's where the story ends. So he went from, and this is with 12 months, he went from a red paper clip to a house in Canada because the house in Canada, there were 8 houses owned in this town. And what they did was they said, well, we want to drive more tourism here. So what we want to do is we want to take that recording contract and we want to host, or the acting contract, sorry, the part in a movie, and we want to host like a America's Got Talent. And we want to have a bunch of people descend on our town and we'll televise it and do all this stuff and we'll trade you a house for it. So they did. They had 3,500 people come to their town to try out for this role in this movie. Okay? He ends up with a house. I have a guy walk into my financial planning office and I'm wearing a suit and shiny shoes and making a 6-figure income. He hands me an invite. What if he didn't? Look what's happened since then. We all have a red paper clip that we have a choice every day, whether it's an invite, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a vision for what you want to do, that you have a choice to hand that to somebody, to trade it for something of value. So you can either sit where you are currently sitting, or you can take that idea, that invite, that paperclip, that mention, that eyeball contact to some store, and you can do something with it. Because the last thing you want to do is be sitting where you're at and imagine, what if, right? So that's the red paperclip story to get you thinking about a canister of Formula One, a tee, a liftoff, a smile, a handshake, whatever it may be, is whatever that paperclip is for you. Just imagine if you were to just hold it in your pocket and you never went to hand that to anybody, right? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story on the paperclip to the house. I always think things like that are absolutely fascinating, and they help us get to a position of imagination, because if that's possible, what's possible for what we can do, right? All right. So with that being said, I will have the 9-time, is that what your slide is? The 9-time active world team, 7.5 millionaire team, Heather Beckman.
Thank you. Okay, that was a good story. I have not heard that story. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the meaning behind it. So this is what he's talking about, my 9 times, right? So, Wheel of Success, the Unwritten Success Secrets of the Beckman. So it's something where I got to tell you, we came into this business not knowing what we're doing. We didn't have necessarily a sponsor near us that helped us out. So I want to tell you a little bit of our story, kind of, getting into before I get into like our products and stuff like that. When I entered into Herbalife, I wasn't looking for a product or a business. And I was looking for extra energy and supplemental income. Okay? Because what was going on at that time, and it's interesting how now after, 10 or 7, 8 years later after I started Herbalife, actually I know that in 2008, there was this big crash going in the housing market. Well, in 2008, I was unaware that the housing market was going in this crash. I had a very successful husband with a very successful towel business, and all of a sudden things just aren't meeting up, And so, I had quit my job that I worked for many years in. I worked for a local doctor in town for 7 years. I helped build his business, and I worked hard for him. I went to school for 5 years and got 2 degrees, and I went to work for him. And I quit that business because my husband was making wonderful money, and he kept saying, stay home with the kids, stay home with the kids, stay home with the kids. Well, finally, when my baby turned 1, I thought, okay, I will. So I've been home for 5 years, Here we are not making ends meet. What do I need to do to start making some income? Well, I knew that since I ended things nicely with that doctor, I'd probably go back to work for him. But I quit making $16 an hour. And so when I checked into daycare for my kiddos, if I put them in part-time daycare, I make no money. I'm working at $16 an hour, working part-time. If I put them in full-time daycare and worked full-time, I'd only make like $100 or $200 a month. So that didn't make sense. So what if I go back to school and I get my master's? Okay, well, I have to spend the money and the time to go back to school. We're talking spending money to go to school, and then who's going to watch the kids while I go to school and do some of it online. I went through all this trying to figure out how I could maybe get more education to maybe make more money. And then I started figuring out how many years at my master's what I might make, how many years would I have to work just to pay off what I just spent to make that extra money. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I go back and forth and thinking, what am I going to do? So, what do you know? So I'm checking into Herbalife, right? Because the thing is, I'm low on energy. I don't know how I'm going to work a job anyways. Because my life centers around my kids taking a nap because I need a nap. I get this phone call from this Herbalife distributor. What do you know? So this cold call from an Herbalife distributor offered me an opportunity and a product. And I'm so glad that I took advantage of talking to this person, and she's my coach, to get me started. So she told me about the Herbalife products, and of course, I had looked them up online, and I saw these amazing doctors that all this amazing stuff and made complete sense. Even though I was eating healthy, exercising every day, I had these really expensive items I still bought from the doctor's office because I was trying to get energy. I was still tired all the time, so it's worth a try. Okay, so I got started. I got amazing energy. People started noticing, what are you doing? It's legal. Can I have some? So as I'm getting started and I'm talking to my coach, like, hey, I want some more stuff. I got other people talking. She's just following up with me. She's just being a good coach and following up with me. Things are going good. People want to know what you're doing. So you're getting a little more broken down story than you get sometimes on stage, but this is seriously what happened. So she does good follow-up with me, and I say some other people want some stuff. Would you like to make some extra money? I'm going to show you exactly what she did with me on the phone here in a little bit. And it was over the phone, and she showed me the marketing plan. So everybody in here can show somebody else how to make extra money with Herbalife, because she did it over the phone. I drew my little circles and squares and all this stuff that you can actually do in front of somebody too. It's called the napkin marketing plan. So I thought, okay, well, I am looking to make some extra income. There was not at any point that she ever had any limitations put on me saying that, well, typically people only maybe do a $500 a month or do this, this, and this. She said, your next level in the marketing plan is to get to supervisor. Here are your options. I got to supervisor in the first couple weeks. She said, now your next step to world team, this is 9 years ago. To get to world team, you did 10,000 volume points in 1 month or nothing else. Is to do 10,000 volume points. So guess what Heather did? Because that was supposed to be my goal. Okay? So those things, I'm telling you that. Why? Because there's no limitations. I knew nothing different. The only limitations we put on ourselves is what only limitations we have are what we put on ourselves. And so the 9 times active world team member, that's something that's as important to me as a 7.5 millionaire team. As far as the wheel of success, we just kept doing what we were told to do. Here's the next thing 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 to do. And I was just in that mode. I knew nothing different. And so I didn't get it. Like Anthony has an amazing story. He told people for 3 years, I'm not doing this business. And my story is I needed extra income. I saw the possibility. And my coach said, give it your everything for 2 years. So for 3 years, I worked my ass off. And I made over $10,000 a month after working it for 3 years. Around 2 kids, around a husband that still works full time. Now, am I, gosh, Heather, you're so amazing? No, I didn't know any different. I didn't put any limitations on myself. And the thing is, you know what else I got out of Anthony's story? The value. That paperclip had value to somebody else. That fish pin had value to somebody else. Do I find value in any of that? No, but it always had value for something else. My value of what my time was worth and what I put into it to get the next step, the next step, the next step. Okay, that's what that, that story that what he just said, there is value to somebody for each one of those things. So the thing is, determining what our value and our time and our excuses are worth to us. Are the excuses as much worth to you as some of the value of which you could put that excuse aside and actually do the next step we need to do? So I got a lot out of that story, I'm telling you. I need to take this off that kind of share mode or the people, if somebody does log on, won't be able to see it. We're going to see the next slide. Okay. So here's my product story, though. So as you know, as I said, I got started in Herbalife, got amazing energy. In the first week, my friends were like, what do you do? Is it legal? Can I have some? But then a few years later, I told my husband, I don't think I'm done having babies. He says, are you crazy? They feed themselves. They wipe themselves. I'm 41 years old. You want to have another baby? I said, yes. I said, you know why? Because we make more money than we used to 5 years ago. We're younger than we were 5 years ago. We have more time and energy than 5 years ago. So, yes, I want to have another baby. And that's really all it really took. And then maybe a few weeks on, we're going to say, okay. And so then, and he did have that baby before he turned 42. I remember a month before. That was his kind of deal. Yeah. So let's get to work on this. So there's me like a week or two before I gave birth. And then there's the next summer. And the thing is, our results are very important to us. I'm not a very tall person, and I do have a lot of muscle in my body. So when I go up or down 5 pounds, it does get noticed, and it does affect my business, it affects how I feel and how my confidence is. So the thing is, you need to be your best at all times. And I know when I go up this 5 pounds and down my 5 pounds, people notice, and so the thing is, yes, I'm working on that again. It's seriously a 5 pound difference. It is a 4% body fat difference. And it's a 4% body fat percent. The thing is, you need to be at where you are supposed to be at to get the pay that you want to get paid. Okay? Consider your results a direct reflection of how much you're going to get paid. That's just all there is to it. We are a health and nutrition company. We have to have the results. Okay? I have a healthy family. There in the peach there, or the one drinking the shake here. He is that baby right there. So he has been on Herbalife since conception. And of course, he still loves his Herbalife shake every day. They all take the products in. We are an Herbalife family, all on the products. So when people say, is this healthy? Are you crazy? This isn't, I wouldn't take when I was pregnant, I would give it to my babies. It is a healthy product. Now, do we also go through some drive-through stuff like that? Yes, we do. But you know what? That's not what they're growing up on. There's healthy food and there's sometimes food. This is the food they eat every day. Okay, they eat healthy food every day. They drink healthy Herbalife shakes every day. And they're growing up healthy. We have an Herbalife family. So we have our family, we have an Herbalife family. Both are very, very important to me. I didn't realize how important the Herbalife family was going to be to me until it got created. I thought it was kind of folksy, kind of cheesy, actually, when people say it on stage, all that stuff. It's incredibly important to me. And then, doing this with Todd has been amazing. We both have had so if you're with a significant other, or, a spouse, or, people coming in your life, stuff like that, how do you both do the business? That's something else to figure out also. As you're figuring out this business, as you're going through your business, how do you both do this business? You both have your roles, and they're going to be different, okay? It's not going to be equaled out. I had to go through many struggles, many pains, and many fights that we went through, but try to figure out this business together. We both have different roles in this business, and they're both equally important. So that's something to sit down and decide. And they're not going to be equal in any ways, and they might fluctuate at certain times. So the cool thing about Herbalife, 3 years in the business, make over $10,000, very present parent at school. I know my teachers. They know me. They know that they can depend on us to drive to every single field trip. It's something where they not just mommy. Todd loves the fact that he's the only daddy sometimes on the field trips. He just loves it. But it's just something they know they can depend on us. I know what's going on in school. I know what's going on with my kids. And the thing is, even today, as I'm taking my, son and his 2 friends to the lake, and Griffin, the cute little 4-year-old, that really hit me today. He's like, asking where his mommy is, one of Trevor's friends. And when my mommy's at work. She work at my mommy's work? No, she works at different mommy's work. She don't work at your mommy's work. Oh, is she going to come here too? No, she has to work. When is she going to get off? Not till late. She works all day, every day. Oh, my mommy doesn't work all day, every day. It's those things where out of the mouth of a 4-year-old, they realize, life is different. It's amazing to be able to control your time. And do what you want with it. So the thing is, if you've ever got an email from me, this is the bottom of my email. It's been this way for 8 years or so. Because it's to keep reminding me. It's not I'm trying to tell somebody else something I'm sending an email. It's one of those things where you have that tagline, that thing to remind you. Because this really does represent a lot to me. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. I have goals, I have whys. It's the discipline I put on myself and within our family and within my daily activities that makes it a bridge from the goal to the accomplishment. Because I can have the dreams and the whys and all day long. And everybody can get to your own dreams, goals, and whys. But the thing is, it's that bridge. And the disciplines that you do every day is actually your work. Okay? It's the work that you're going to do in Herbalife. It's the work you're going to do in your results. So our Road to Millionaire team went to trainings and qualified for everything. It wasn't until the last year or two that we weren't platinum every time. And it stinks. And now we're working again. And now it's one of those things where we're working for all that stuff again. And so our trainings were not questionable. We did have kids. He did have a full-time job. We did have all these things. But the trainings were not questionable. And I got to give Todd a lot of credit to that. Because there are times where I'd be in here, and we were open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., and I was by myself. And I'm exhausted. And when I got done, I had to go to the store to get some more supplies for the club. I'm exhausted, and then I also need to do follow-up and you do invites and you do all that stuff. I'm tired. I don't want to go to a training on Saturday. I'm tired. No, I don't want to go on training on Saturday. I don't want to be around all the happy people. And I certainly don't want to go up and shake the speaker's hand. That was Todd's role, thankfully. Thankfully, for some reason, he found that important. We got there. And as soon as we got there, we always knew that was the place we're supposed to be, and I was supposed to be there for a reason. Even if it was for the pick-me-up. So if your boss tells you, if your boss says, hey, on Saturday, next week, whatever it's going to be, you need to be in such and such place at such and such time, you're going. It's not even a question. It might be something like, oh, but my kids or something like that, and it could go back and forth. But the boss says you're going. Why? Because you get paid to go. You get paid to go to these trainings also, okay? We employed ourselves and went to trainings. It is very much as part of our job as being at the Nutrition Club, handing out invites, or any of that are part of Herbalife. So we employed ourselves, we went to trainings, and we got paid. Okay? It was non-negotiable. We went to trainings. So here's your Herbalife Success Circle. And to be honest with you, it's the first time I actually created one. I've always borrowed other people's and everything else. But it's just something, thank you. I actually really like it. Because the thing is, I wanted to make sure that this was a part of it. Wasn't a jumbled up mess. The thing is that, as we go through our months, I want to kind of put in even the speakers and stuff. I want to create this feeling to be a little bit more personalization, but I'll show our time. So we're, where we're at. We just finished July extravaganza. August 19th, there's a JJ right there who needs to take a look at him. It's something where August 19th, okay? That is as important as you showing up for your own job on Monday, okay? If you want to get paid in this, it's as important as you showing up for your job and doing all your stuff you're supposed to do there, okay? If August 19th is absolutely impossible to go to, Whitney, I know, is going to, I think it's Oklahoma, and I can't remember who Cleo. She and Sarah knows.
No, it's Garen.
Garen. Am I too concerned if Sarah goes to Garen or JJ? No, I'm mostly concerned that she gets it in. Now, is she going to bring people with her? People want to go through to Oklahoma? Awesome. People want to go through to Kansas City? Awesome. You know, we used to get a little hung up on like, oh, we all have to, you know, if you're going and you're bringing people, take them wherever you're excited about going. Just make sure you make it monthly. You know, you're going and you're excited. Sometimes we limit ourselves because I can't go August 19th. When can you go and what are you going to find? I've gone to North Carolina before because we were closing our house and we were sold our house. I had to go somewhere is important. I went to North Carolina. You know, so it's something where you may have to travel. If you can't make it the weekend, you should make it if this business is going to be the thing that connects you from your goals, you know, that discipline to the goals to accomplishments. Okay, so the thing is between July and August, we have other things. Every Tuesday night, we have our healthy happy hour in here. We have our product training in here. Are you coming? Who you bringing? Are you coming? Who you bringing? You can't come because you work. That's okay. Guess what? You have upline in this room. For a fact, I know you have upline in this room. When you say and sidelines, that you say, hey, I'm sending so-and-so. Could you greet them? Yes, I'd be happy to greet your person for you because you can't make it. You know, how many people are you sending? You know, that'd be my question. 1, 2, 5, whatever. You know, welcome everybody. So the thing is, we have our product training. We have the distributor training here. We have another one next month, and Michelle's going to tell you about that date. These are just as much of a must, okay? These are the easy things that are right here. This is what your community is doing for you. Sometimes our community can get in our way because we can limit each other. Like, oh, you know, I don't know, that 5,000 this month is kind of hard. I know. We can bring each other down or we can lift each other up. I don't know, I'm looking for 5,000. And yeah, I'm bringing 2 people to this product training. I've never brought anybody. I'm bringing 2 people next Tuesday. And I'm going to invite somebody every single day. My things, Michelle's going to go over this, are on my computer. It's a constant reminder. Every day I invite somebody to the HOM product training something. You know, that's one of my daily method of operations, which Michelle's going to go over. Okay, so then, you know, we have August. You have September. Do you know the date for September? Where you're going, what are you doing? Is it marked off on your calendar? It's good to look ahead. I bet if you have a wedding that month, you know, for some sort of family member, that's probably written down. You already know that. This needs to be as important, okay? And I know that some trainers say, if you got a wedding, you don't need to go to that wedding. Find a different STS. We've grown so much in Herbalife. If you can't go to Kansas City, go to Oklahoma. You know, go to Colorado. October LDW. A lot of people I know have already gotten their tickets for Dallas. I'm up for Dallas. Minnesota's another really popular one to go to. You know, if Dallas weekend doesn't work out, Minnesota's always a great one also. Again, like I said, I've gone to North Carolina one. It's been amazing. You know, pick where you want to go. Now, the thing about LDWs, and if you're going to travel a little bit or we need to do, make sure you budget for them. Make sure you're planning ahead. It's also very important that you don't treat it as a vacation. Because if you treat it as a vacation, you may not be present to get what you want. You might be more worried about going to the such and such. Now, if you plan around it, like, hey, I'm going to spend an extra day, and you realize that's a separate expense. Okay, I'm going to spend an extra day in California because I'm there. Well, that's a good thing to do. You already traveled there. But you realize training, fun. And then you keep the budget separate too. Oh, I don't think I can go next time. That was really expensive. That's cost me thousands of dollars. No, the training didn't cost you thousands of dollars. What you did in extra cost you thousands of dollars. Separate it. Now, can you afford to go to training? Yes. Can you afford to do the extra? That's up to you. Budget for it. I say do it. Live life. Journeys. Yes. You know? So make sure you're very aware of what the training is. Okay? October LDW, November, December. Yes, November, December are crazy. Every month is crazy. December STS. Set yourself up for an amazing first of the year. There might be Christmas parties. There might be something going on. There might be whatever. You might be in a slump, whatever it is. Trust me, you need to be there, okay? So I'm going to back it up because I said go to all the trainings and qualify for everything, okay? So the easy part, it's not so easy, is scheduling the trainings in our schedules. It's not always the easiest, but you just make it happen, just like you make work happen. If you are employed by somebody else, they tell you how to do it, you make it happen. You make it happen for yourself. We have jumped through some hoops getting kid care. You know, there are times we had to separate, and we actually separated after those first 3 years. Those first 3 years, we're on nose down, butt up. I don't know. Somehow we made it work. Now we find ourselves more lenient.
and stuff like that. One of us might be going, one of us might not be going or something like that, but we make it happen. So the thing is, the easy part is the scheduling. But qualifying for everything, that's actually day in, day out work. So when we say qualify for everything, it is so easy to say, but do you know that qualify for everything is the discipline part? It's the part of getting the results. It's the part of doing the daily method operations that Michelle's going to go over. It's the part that she's getting ready to tell you about. Doing that every single day, that's how you qualify for everything. Okay? So it's something where we can say, qualify for everything, we're going to do this, we're going to make this, and this month you get 5,000 line points that goes towards LDW, so double it. This is the month to get 5,000 line points. And anybody right now that says, I can get 5,000 line points by Monday, why? Have you tried? Have you ever tried? You know, what if you double the volume you're at right now, wherever you're at? Have you tried? How do you know? You know, Todd's, one of his favorite quotes, I don't want to butcher it, it's even on the bathroom wall of my son. You know, if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you're at least among the stars. You know? That's Brown. So you have to go to work every day. So it's just not going to trainings, go to work, get paid. You have to go to work every day, do the DMOs. We employed ourselves, we got paid. So my little note to myself, because I didn't want to forget this. Okay. Because sometimes people are like, sometimes people think that Todd and I had somehow had it easy because we're one of the first people in Herbalife around here, or because he used to make great money in tile and all these things. It must be easy for us to take off because my parents usually would take the kids and all that stuff. So it was a moment. It's called Chicago. It's a Chicago LDW. It's actually one of our first LDWs we went to, and we were trying to make a decision at the time whether or not we've been open for here for 6 months. We're trying to make the decision if we're going to close down the nutrition club. We were fighting, again, 6 a.m., 5 p.m., never home. Kids, who's raising them? You know, it's crazy. I'm putting my everything into this. He still has to work tile all the time. It's not that he's not supportive of Herbalife. In fact, we're having a discussion. We're actually at an Herbalife booth, you know, the weekend before the LDW. And I said, you know, maybe we should go to the Chicago thing I heard about. There's the LDWs in Chicago. I bet I can get us cheap tickets. Let's go there, you know, and make a decision. Fine, let's go away and make a decision while we're in Chicago LDW. So I get us really cheap tickets to Chicago. We get there, and I'm at the hotel desk, and I'm holding up the line, which Todd hates making a scene. You know, your kid's wife, he doesn't like to make a scene. So I'm sitting at the, and he's like, what's going on? And he's like, well, I want to pay for the room in cash, and she wants like a credit card and all this stuff, and you know, I don't have. And he's like, give her a credit card. I can't because I pay out the money. I'm like, this is all the money we have. He's like, that's all the money you brought. I said, it's all the money we have. All the money we have. Then what the are we doing here? Could you imagine how I felt and where my heart went? Went to my stomach. I spent the money. Here we are. Got to trudge our way up to that room, change our clothes to make it down because we qualified for everything. So we're going to the active world team meeting. We get in there, and it's Brad Harris and one of these days we're going to see him in a training again. Ruben. It's something where we never see him at another training. Yeah. And it's not that he's not impactful because he was. But in the first 20, 30 minutes of us sitting there, and remember, we're close to each other sitting in the same chair. We're actually VIP. We qualify for everything because we actually had decent shake sales. We're pretty close, but we could be more distant. And we looked at each other and we're like, that's why we're here. We knew in the first 20 minutes, not only are we not putting Herbalife, we're there for that weekend to get the information we needed, and it changed everything. That weekend changed everything. Because we're trying to decide whether even to stay in Herbalife. We'll probably always take the products where we're going to stay in Herbalife. What if we didn't go to that training? And no, we didn't have the money to do it. And if I would have been open with him about the money that we didn't have to do it, I said, we'll just make it happen. We need to get away and all that stuff. Then we probably would not have gone. Those are the moments that make everything in Herbalife. Now, we still have to come back and do the business. And the things that we learned that were vital, and that's not part of this discussion. But you have no idea what you're going to get from somebody else because it's not necessarily going to be in this room. It's going to be somewhere at some point in time. So stay, Caesar! I just wanted to make you feel really comfortable joining us. Okay, so qualifying is everything, and everything is what? So do you know that on myherbalife.com, I didn't want to pull it up live, that it tells you all the things that you get to qualify for. Okay, some of the things you get to qualify for. And so the thing is, Presence Team Retreats. Yes, I did. That's awesome. You know, the cool part is, because this isn't the actual website, so I don't want to pull it up, that if you click on these blue things, it'll tell you, are you qualified, are you not qualified, all the stats you need to know, how you qualify for it, and where you're at. If it's a tracker like Punta Cana, it'll tell you exactly where you're at. Now, if you're in here today thinking, well, I won't qualify for Punta Cana, but maybe next year, maybe the next vacation. Do you know that Whitney's going for it right now? Yes. She's going to do in 6 months what all of us have a year to do. So you can do in 6 months, right along with her, make a plan with her, ask her what she's doing. Okay? So the thing is, there is a way to do it. Are you willing to do it? Is it going to be really, 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 really hard to do it in 6 months? Yes. In my first year of Herbalife, I qualified for the vacation. Not because, gee, gosh darn it, I'm just so awesome and great. Because my sponsor, my coach, just kept telling me what the next thing to do was. You're supposed to get 10,000 mind points every month. Okay. Now you're supposed to do this. Okay. Now you're supposed to do this. Do you know what all these qualifications are meant to do? Grow your business. They're all meant to grow your business. Herbalife's not just saying, got these extra tickets, we need to give them to somebody. Hey, if you do well enough, I'll give them to you. No, they're all by design. They're all by design to help you grow your business. So I have no idea on time. Where am I at?
7:20.
Well, I know, but what is it supposed to go to? I have no idea. 2 minutes ago. Okay, so events and promotions. So if you don't find it, like go to events promotions, you can go to herbalifeevents.com. It'll tell you all the things right there, all the things you can come to, you know, where to find events. You can type in what country you want, what kind of event you're looking for. It's all right there. But the thing is, that's the cool thing. You have a community too. Where's everybody going? What's the next thing on our list? Where are we going? And all you have to do is repeat that to somebody else. So we all know Leadership Development Weekend. We talked about that one. And then the qualifications, which Anthony was good enough to actually bring that up. So the thing is, what have you already told yourself that you're qualifying for in here? Have you already elected to say, I don't qualify for things, I'm out? Don't be there, okay? Decide this event, Leadership Development Weekend in October. This is the event that you're going to qualify for one of these levels. And you're not wrong for qualifying for any one of these, okay? Now, I know that some of us are going to qualify for platinum because we go big or go home, you know, but the thing is, we're into the business, but the thing is, you can qualify for platinum. Today, you can decide I'm qualifying for platinum, but you just need to pick one, what you're going to qualify for, and go for it, okay? If it's going to be bronze, that is awesome. Bronze is 20,000 volume points and 3 consecutive months. That means July, August, September. It actually could mean September, October, yeah, August, September, October, if you do it in a short amount of time before actually the other day it starts. But in the month of July, your volume is doubled up to 5,000, okay? So if you do 2,000 this month, you actually have 4. I have 5,000 volume points. That means I actually have 10 on top of whatever I do on top of the 5, okay? So the thing is, what are you going to qualify for? Bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Tell your sponsor, tell your teammates, tell your sideline, let's qualify for that. So not only are we going to make our board in there, it says who's bought tickets where. We're going to right next to it put what you're qualifying for, and let's update that on a regular basis. Let's ask each other, how's your silver qualification going? You know, so let's make a point to do this. Okay, so let's qualify for everything. Okay. That's not the one I want. That's not what I want either. Come on, not that one. Just give me the slide, come on. Okay, the next thing we're talking about is Punta Cana, right? So where are you at? Where are you gonna qualify for? So again, there's a tracker. If you don't like the number on the tracker, not everybody's going to. You know, there's a few of us in the room that, you know when we're going to hit it. We know that we're going to hit it. And we know that we're going to hit it because we've been on Herbalife vacations before, and you don't want to miss an Herbalife vacation. There's no vacation like, would you like to
I don't
speak?
think you can talk about a vacation enough. You qualify for one Herbalife vacation, that's Blanco's. You will work your business so much harder. It's just like qualifying for VIP at the LDW. You sit at that little, and all it is a little round table. You get snacks. You know, it's just, for me, it's recognition. I mean, I like recognition. If I get arrogant, I ran a marathon to get high fives from people on the side. You know, so it's about recognition. I cannot, you can't explain an Herbalife vacation. It's like, you want to take your kids someplace and have your kids get spoiled. I mean, we could have never afforded to go to Hawaii when we were sent to Hawaii the first time. We got to take our kids to Atlantis, Bahamas. Could have never afforded for that. You know, we would never take our kids on a cruise to the Dominican Republic, right?
That's right.
But it's just what do you want your kids in your, if you've got a negative husband that's on the fence about it, qualify for a vacation. Take his ass on a vacation. He will not be negative anymore. I guarantee you that. I mean, that right there would have sold me. So I mean, you could do a whole training on what the vacations are, what they need for your business. Because you qualify for a business, you're making money through Herbalife. I mean, that's a simple fact.
And it's the people who qualify for these trips that you want to be around again next year. Like their families, it's just, you're in another world because Herbalife people are healthy, happy. Their kids are just different than, you know, the kids that my kids hang out with. So the friendships and the relationships that you meet all over the world too are awesome.
And imagine, so like every LDW, every STS, you have all these speakers, right? So imagine that all those speakers are in one place, all hanging out by the pools and the beach, and they are, just like they like to share from stage and talk about their business, first thing that they do though is they always ask you questions. Like they're not just there to talk about themselves. They ask you a ton of questions, and then they want to be asked questions so they can share their story. And you hear all kinds of amazing stories when you're there with people, because it's all those people that do training from stage are at the vacations, which is pretty cool. So it's like getting training, you know, while you're hanging out, drinking a Mai Tai, you know, like it's, or Todd's case, lots of Mai Tais, you know, whatever.
And anybody here could do it. I mean, Heather did it her first year. You guys did it your first year. You know, you weren't even trying. That wasn't your goal. Your goal wasn't I'm gonna qualify for a vacation. Your goal was I'm gonna make this Herbalife business work. That's why you qualified. You know, there was a vacation.
You didn't have to explore vacations.
Okay, so obviously, if you can't feel the passion in that an Herbalife vacation is where you want to be, I don't know what else to say, because the thing is, we would make this stuff up just to try and get you someplace where you don't want to be. I mean, it really is amazing what they do for you. Oh. I'm getting ready to do the. I want to get to the marketing plan here, but the DAP program, which we have it over there, I'm going to add these recognition walls because I know we have people with their first cut and their second cut. So you know that if you go to myherbalife.com and kind of look around some of these things, you find these really cool sheets. I'm going to get that up there for who has their first and second cut. We're going to have it up there on the recognition. Michelle's going to go over this a lot more. Again, everything is by design for you to build your business. This is the first place to start to build your business, to qualify for LDW stuff, to qualify for vacations, to qualify for everything else. It starts with the DAP program, okay? So you qualifying for DAP, but then also getting others to qualify for DAP, and it's going to come in recruiting, because that's a huge part of it is recruiting. And so for this DAP program, we have our Starwood resorts. I've been clicking on the Starwood resorts just to get excited. Like, we could go any of these places, we could go all these different places. It's gonna be really awesome. They're gonna send us for a weekend. I'm like, how can they do this? Just by doing your business. Do you know what that Chicago LDW whole training was? If I were to condense it down for time's sake about what we learned about, to recruit, that was the change in our business. We learned to recruit. We came back, we signed up 13 people in 10 days, and then half of those people were distributors, and then we were able to start making that big picture, those whys and dreams and everything else come true. So that was the thing that we learned to do. So through that program, that's what you're going to learn to do is to recruit, to invite people to the business, okay? So the road ahead waits for your journey. You just got to take the first step, okay? It does not matter where you came from. It doesn't matter if Todd and I worked our butt off for 3 years. What we do here forward matters. And then even Anthony, the thing is, the first 3 years we weren't looking for it. What he said is, now I'm pursuing it. okay? Whatever your track record's been so far in Herbalife, it really doesn't matter today or tomorrow. It's what you do today and tomorrow that matters, right? And so I have done, when we started, we actually did so many marketing plans on the napkin, on a sheet of paper and stuff like that. And sometimes we get a little more complicated, like, okay, here's our marketing plan in our PowerPoint sense, you know. Can you all learn how to do this, you know? Oh, you know what? That doesn't relate to me, okay? That's not how I was taught. Kind of was, but the thing is, it wasn't really how I was taught because maybe it was in my handwriting. You know, maybe it was personalized to me the whole way through. So even though this is great and it's a great teaching tool, don't teach it to your person you're asking if they'd like to learn how to make some extra money with Herbalife. We're going to make this really easy and show you, hey, here's a great way to show people how you can make extra money in Herbalife. So I'll make sure Vicki sees it. Okay. And we need a marker. So, you want to know why I like to write in purple? Because purple means relatives. Okay. Stacey, I'm so glad you showed up.
Me too.
You're getting big. Okay, would you like to know how you can make some extra money in Herbalife?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I'm going to show you different ways that you can make money in Herbalife. The first way that you can make money in Herbalife by signing up for the distributorship is in retail, okay? So in retail, when you sign up, you're going to start making a 25% profit. That means, tell me one of your friends' names.
Sure.
Who's that?
Jolene.
Jolene? Yeah, I'm going to start singing now. So when Jolene
I
decides,
was like trying to think of my next prospect, like who's on my list, like the first one on my list, and her name didn't come to me quick.
okay, that's okay. We'll get some more
She
names.
is on my list.
Okay, there you go.
So when Jolene comes to you because she sees your amazing results and how excited you are about Herbalife, she's going to buy, let's say, to make it easy, $100 worth of product. Okay, you're going to pay Herbalife at your 25% discount, $75 for that $100 worth of product. You're going to sell it to Jolene for $100, so you put $25 in your pocket. Easy enough. Okay, so retail. Okay. So the thing is, everybody starts off at 25%, okay, by signing up. Now, how do you get to 35%? You get to 35% by doing 500 documented volume in 1 month. Don't let that scare you off, the whole documented volume thing, and show you exactly what you do. Really what it means is by you getting about 5 to 7 customers, we're going to maybe have a shake party, we're going to talk to some of your friends, family, all that stuff. I'm going to help you get your first 5 to 7 customers. And when you do that in the first month and you get 500 documented volume, you're at a permanent 35%. So now, Jolene wants another $100 worth of product. You're going to pay Herbalife $65 for it. She's still paying you the $100. So now you just increase your profit by $10 more. You put $35 in your pocket instead of $25. You see how easy that is? And that's actually just growing your business. I'm going to make sure that I show you and give you some tools to help you with follow-up and make it really easy for you so you continue to make that consistent profit with your retail business also. Okay, but the nice thing is that when you get started up, is it C-E-Y-I? C-Y, okay, the easy way. Okay, no, too fancy. Okay. So Stacy, so when you say, okay, Jolene, I'm going to start signing some people up to get their own products and stuff like that, you're also going to start making wholesale because now you're at 35% or a lot more. Really what that is if Jolene decides, okay, I want a discount too, and she gets signed up, and maybe she's a member, and she's just doing it for the products because she loves her products. Whatever she leaves on the table between the $25 and $35, where, as far as the percentage goes, you're going to get a check on the 15th of the month, which is really cool. But there's a way to grow that gap in wholesale, and there's a way to make more money in retail, and you can do that with having a 42% discount or profit level. And really what that is doing 2,500 documented volume points in 0 to 6 months, or 0 to 12 months, sorry. Got to think now. They changed the rules recently on me, so anybody can do this business. Okay, so once you hit 2,500 documented volume points over a accumulated amount of time, you're at a permanent 42% discount. So even though Jolene's buying stuff at a discount, you still have other friends you've been selling to, and so instead of making $25 or $35, you're making $42 on their $100 sale. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then also your gap between Jolene's 25 and you're at 42, you're making more money on each sale also. But do you know that there's always 50% to be made? It doesn't matter if you've been in this business for 5 minutes or 5 years or 30 years, there's highest you can go is 50%. And this is available to you at any point that you get this by getting more customers as we talk to more people, having more shake sales, shake parties, as we get referrals. All these things are going to help you do. And when you get 5,000, it's changed again, Mommy. 4,000 volume points, documented volume points. When I started in the business, it was actually 2,500. There's no 2,500 2 months in a row. It was 4,000 in 1 month. That's it. So 4,000 documented volume points in 1 to 12 months. And once you get there, again, 5 to 7 customers per month. I'm going to help you grow. We have this really cool DAP program. They get to qualify, get some free stuff along the way. And when you hit 4,000 volume points, you're at 50%. Okay? That means that whatever the gap between you and your members are, you're getting the whole thing. Nothing's passing by you. You're earning everything. So 25 to 50% retail is what you can earn in retail. Wholesale is the difference between where you're at and the people underneath you. You get the difference. Does that make sense so far?
Yep. Heather, the
Yes.
2,500 needs to be done in 6 months.
Is it 6 months? They keep changing it.
We just clarified it literally like last week. So.
All right. That's still pretty generous. It used to be 2 months, right? 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah. We keep making this easier and easier. Pretty sure I'm just going to say here, half 50%. So the thing is, we make retail, we make wholesale. But you know what? Jolene, being one of your first customers, she seems like a smart person. Now that you're a supervisor, and Jolene says, you know what? I think I want to become a distributor. And so Jolene decides that she's going to make her way to supervisor also. So she's at 50, you're at 50, you're no longer making retail or wholesale on her. And you're thinking, well, gosh, that's a bummer, because now I'm not making any profit on Jolene. But the cool thing is, here's where it gets really awesome, because this is what we call royalties. We say royalties are king, because when I got started with Herbalife, I was doing great on my retail. I made over $1,000 my first month. It felt incredible. It's a great way to supplement my income, bring in extra money for the family. I did it around my small children, Making wholesale was even more awesome because people are ordering for themselves and I'm still making a profit. And then when I hit royalties, that's where the dreams really came true, because then I was making 5%, 3 levels deep. And you might be thinking, honestly, 5% doesn't sound as good as 25, 35, 42 on the down line. And wholesale, I'm thinking, ooh, 5%. But don't forget, Jolene's doing 4,000 volume points over a cumulative time. And she's building her own business. And plus, just like you have your customers and your wholesale that you've been building up, so does she. Okay? So she has more than just herself. In fact, Jolene's probably a good business builder, and she's probably building people that you're making royalties on also, and it can just spider web out. I don't want to overcomplicate this with you, but the thing is, so just to kind of tell you where I'm at, so on the 15th of the month when I get my royalty check, that gives me my royalties plus my wholesale, it's over $10,000 a month. I know that sounds crazy. Now, that's not always typical, and I did that over accumulated time. It got me 3 years of doing the business before I got to that point. But that's really what I'm making in royalties, and that's really where it made our lifestyle change in our family and our life, And so royalties, but the thing is, what happens when Jolene's so awesome and she starts building a team that goes below these 3, and I only get paid 5% 3 levels deep? Bonuses. Bonuses are always awesome, because on a bonus, can't spell them, but I can take them. Bonuses, what you get is where we get to high level learning or high level earning, which is called tabulator T. Okay, so don't need to remember these names. In fact, don't remember these names. I just want you to know your next step. But really what they are is higher levels called get or mill or press team. Really what these mean is that you get a +2, +2, +2, +2, and it goes infinitely down. So you're making 7%, 7%, 7%, and 2% probably down here on this person that you don't even know, And so then the cool thing is, the reason why you earn on this person you don't even know is because you took care of Jolene, who took care of, what's another one of your friends? You remember now. Grace, see? Oh, I like that. Okay. And Grace took care of Jessica. Okay, see? Now we're going. And so then Jessica took down line. And so Carol, there we go. We're going to keep going.
So my people in my
We just made her get team, or her get team.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did. No, seriously,
Okay,
this is it.
so we need to take a picture of this because this is what her global expansion team check is, right? So that means on the 20th month you're gonna get this bonus check. It's gonna be 1,000 to 2,000, but I'm actually what's called millionaire team. So instead of 2%, I get a 4% LED. So that check for me can be anywhere from 4,000 to 7,000 in addition to that 10,000. I know it sounds crazy. The thing is, I love doing this business, and what I'm trying to do is get more people up this ladder with me, and I'm hoping that you're on board with this because I'd love to see you there. So what Todd and I are working towards now is that we're actually looking towards a 6% employee down. And you do know that Grace's or Carol's downline here, we don't even know we can earn 6% on, which is more than Jolene, the 5%. So that's exactly what you can be doing too, making 11%, 11%, 11%, and 6% down here on Carol's downline, which is amazing. So that's bonuses. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they also give you extra bonuses. So, like when you hit active world team, which is somewhere between here and here, they just give you a $500 check. And I'm telling you, you do not need to know this business to do this, because when I got my active world team check, and they sent me an extra $500 in the mail, I didn't even know what it was for. Todd and I had this big discussion. He said, you better send it back. I said, no, we need it. I ended up spending it. Found out at the next training what it was all about, and it's awesome. So, and then after that, there's vacations. I don't know if you were in the room before, but we have talked all about our vacations. Amazing. And then we have the Mark Hughes 1% bonus awards. Pretty much it means that when you get a past price team, they're going to pay you 1% whatever the company makes. They're going to distribute out amongst the top earners of the company and who's training, who's doing what, and all that great stuff. All I want you to know that here's the possibilities, and where do you want to start off with the marketing plan, and let's get to work. Are you in?
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm 50 already, so we're
Okay, we're good. Okay, that was kind of a faster version too because of time, but you guys can see how, do you need to know all this stuff? No. How far can you get on this? You know, what do you know about the marketing plan? Do you know just this part? If you don't know just this part of it, let's sit down and let's go over at least that part, okay? We should be at least be able to retail, wholesale, and the possibility of royalties. Do you need to know all this stuff? No, but do you want to show somebody where they can go? Because who knows what their value of what their time is worth. Remember, I got paid $16 an hour. I get paid a lot more per hour now. What's the value of that to me? I worked my butt off for 3 years, okay? I went to school for 5 years. I did get 2 degrees, okay? That just wasn't slow, okay?
I went for 9.
Okay. And the thing is, when I was at my highest earning level and quit because he wouldn't give me the raise, it was $16 per hour. So what's your value of this, doing this for you, and how long will you do it? Okay? So with that, I want to turn this over to get her screen pulled up. So,
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes. Actually, we're going to do kind of a panel Q&A at the end, but go ahead.
Kind of on this, and if it's a long answer like that, then we can talk about it later.
Okay.
Volume points. Ever since the change in the structure, I don't understand how the volume points work anymore. So I'm a distributor. I have people under me, but like Christy's under me, and you know, in the old plan, every time she sold something, I got points for that. I understand the money thing was different, but my points added up. Well, now it doesn't work that way anymore. I don't understand how the volume.
It does. It does. We'll handle it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, let's Michelle
I
get to her
finally
part.
get that part now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still the same. It's the same. You're just not. It just may be. You may be seeing it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like on the screen when I log in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
not-
yeah. Make sure
I
you write
like
it down.
those
so you
big
know
numbers
that.
I used to see. And now-
Yeah, make sure you write it down so you don't ask me.
Okay.
Because I've got a small brain. Small brain, big brain.
Let's see. All right. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce a good friend, the Global Expansion Team member, Michelle Schulte.
You want to see my head? Oh, no. Never mind.
That's not
Oh,
what
yes,
we
I'm
wanted.
here.
We can't see you at all.
We can't see our head. Oh, we don't want that part.
I can see it.
Okay. Go ahead,
Okay,
keep
well-
talking.
Anyway, June 5th was my 4-year Herbiversary, I was told it was called. So I've been with Herbalife now a little over 4 years. My friend and I had just worked out, and she said, let's go get a shake. And I said, are you crazy? We just worked out. I don't want a chalky protein shake or a sugary drink. She's like, no, they're really good, and they have this tea that helps you burn calories. I said, I don't even like tea. So she
reluctantly, I went ahead and came with her. I came in here. I had a chocolate strawberry shake, and hook, line, and sinker, fell in love. I even liked the tea too. So I kept coming in, buying shakes, found out I could make the products at home for a lot cheaper. So I started doing that. And then I found out I could also become a member and save 25% on my products. It would, you're all under one roof then. So became a member, distributor, whatever it was then together, and kept doing my products. And then my first 10-week body transformation challenge, I lost 4 dress sizes. I had so much more energy for my 2 little girls that are not in that picture. One second. And so for those 2 little girls, and people were asking, you know, what are you doing? So I started telling them about it, and I started coming to meetings just like this. Found out I can increase my discount to 50%, take advantage of the business opportunity. So I decided I want to do that. Started within my first month, had 2 shake parties between personal consumption, social media, just talking to everyone I knew, increased my discount to 50%. So by that August, I got my first paycheck from Herbalife, and it was $92.18. So, and my last paycheck from Herbalife, not counting the other ways we get paid, but the check from Herbalife was $1,718, and it was 97 cents. I have to look at the cents part. But even if I didn't make a dime with Herbalife, I would still continue to use the products because how they make myself and my family feel. So now, like, my kids do the products every day. They love their aloe. And now I've been putting the new probiotic in it. They don't even know what it does. They asked me, so I told them. And so the other night, they're like, you didn't put a probiotic in our aloe. So it's still use the product. So here's my whys, why I do Herbalife and why I continue to want to build my business. Those 2 little girls right there who are now 7 and 4. That picture's a couple years old. So going to hit real briefly on retailing, recruiting, and then kind of hone in on more DMOs, 90-day plans, and kind of working your business with that. Using the DAP program to start your business off. So why we retail Herbalife products. So basically you're generating immediate cash flow. As Heather was showing you on here, you're getting the most money from retailing. You're selling at full retail. Like she was saying, if you're a member and you're at 25%, you're putting $25 in your pocket off of a $100 sale. So more money in your pocket, stable income with that. You're also breeding confidence. So if, let's say, you get a speeding ticket or your rent's due or something like that, you're like, okay, I've got to just do more retail. And then you're helping your folks get results. So then they're referring other people to you, and then that's generating more income. So that's just real quick on that. And how you do that, use Where Talk. Those of you that have been around a little bit have heard that a lot. Use the product, be a product at the product. Shop from your own store. I used to go buy body wash and all that stuff from Target, Walmart. Now I buy it for myself. Why not? I get a discount on it. It's a better quality thing.
Awesome.
Yes, it's awesome. Smells great. So just, talking to your clients about things like that too, because they might not even know we have body lotion and body wash and things like that. And then also you're going to sell what you use. So what you use and you get results from, you can talk to people about that and you're going to sell that. Care more about your client's results than you do the money, because people can see that too. They can tell if you truly, genuinely care about them and their results and helping them get the results. We're the Herbalife brand. It's easier now than like back when Mark Hughes started. If you watch some of those old videos on myherbalife.com, he's all about the button, which the button is awesome. Still wear the button. But you can buy t-shirts now, like Monica and Cherie and Heather and Todd, they're all branded with Herbalife t-shirts. You can buy decals for your car. You can buy the little buttons, or the great buttons too, or if you're on your journey, like you've had great results. Like I've seen Sarah wear it, like she's down 109 pounds. Like it's showing how much she's already lost, but showing she's still on her journey. So that's awesome. You can really get anything branded. Heather set up at called the Little White House by Topeka West. What's it called? Monograms. You can take items there. I don't have one right now, but like I've got so Todd's shirt got there. Probably like $7. You bring whatever shirt you want.
I think that's like $5.
Oh, even cheaper then. Yeah. And then all my workout shorts, I had embroidered with like the 24 emblem. So no matter what, where I'm at, and branded. Like Todd's even, I've seen him have like Nike shirts. Any shirts you want, you can go take there. It's a lot cheaper too than buying it somewhere else. Or you can buy them in Kansas City from Denise. So anything, cups.
Or we have a whole new apparel line on Herbalife.com.
Oh, there's, okay. See, good to know.
Really nice. And you get line points again.
Oh,
Do you?
No.
What?
Yeah.
They told me yes, and then they told me no, and I
That's
told people
load of work.
other
See, I know, that's why.
because they're so expensive.
I would get volume points for, I would buy it in the site, and I have lights and stuff. and
Which is hard, you're gonna try it on.
Because I want stuff done, so that way I don't learn it.
And I like it too, because you can get what fits you and the style, but anyway, so you can do anything. Don't leave home without it. And so make sure, I mean, I know a couple cars in the parking lot have decals on them or magnets or things like that. Huh? Hey, Vicky, where's your button? I'm supposed to ask you that.
Trevor actually walked out of the house without it, and Trevor's like, "Where's your button, Mom?" I go, "Yeah, I don't have time to go back and get it, so sorry, folks. I have other stuff with me." So
Okay, so back to that. Where are the buttons? So here's talking about the button now. You will get hits from your button. So if you're wearing that button and you haven't worn it before, you might be kind of caught off guard the first time. So it's good to kind of have a backup, like, okay, well, are you serious? What's your goal? Or are you serious or curious? What have you tried before? What didn't work for you? Like the one like Sarah wears, and I've seen Sheree saying like how much weight they've lost. That to me is one that's an easier conversation, because you can be like, well, this is how I did it. Keep going into it. So there's all different ways, but knowing what to say, or even what you might say when someone asks you that, so you're not like, oh, what? You're showing, again, energy, excitement, enthusiasm. It's not what you say, but it's how you feel about what you can say, because people can see right through that. Talk. Sales versus storytelling. Not had people say, "Oh, I can't sell anything." You're not selling. You're really telling how you feel about the products. So Herbalife distributors are highly paid storytellers. 80% product stories, 20% product information. Before Herbalife, I did this. After Herbalife, I did this. Questions when you're talking to your center of influence. That's usually what most distributors start with, depending. Some of you guys have been here for a little while, some are newer. That was the easiest for me, but then I find out you run out of your center of influence. So then you have to start going out of your comfort zone and talking to people you don't. You guys on Tuesday night here I saw a message from Sheree that she went and talked to somebody at a gas station. And
I was very proud. I was very proud. She commented on my button. I was like, ogre. I was excited. That's awesome.
But your results and how you got them with that. So Jim Rohn, effective communication is 20% of what you know, 80% how you feel about what you know. Okay, 3 steps to retail and recruiting: invitation, presentation, follow-up. So real quick on this. So the invitation, DMOs, daily methods, these are just a few things about the invitation, daily. DMOs, we'll go a little more into it. Again, people you know, center of influence, family, friends. You can do a letter. And you could also do like a text, Facebook message, and make it individualized. Don't be like, hey girl, when you're sending it to a guy, because I've done that before. Your button, club invitations, in-services, posters, pull tabs, sampling, referrals, fit clubs, club invitations again. So apparently I like that one a lot. I have it on their device. Health fairs. And then for the presentation, you can do a personal meeting with them. You could do a grand opening. You could do business launch. You can invite for the presentation for our weight loss challenge, invite them to a nutrition club, invite them to a fit camp, fit club, sampling events, like Heather was saying, the HOMs, the opportunity meetings, the STSs, the healthy happy hours. We have one here every Tuesday for those of you that are local. That's an easy way to have. We rotate through the speakers, sample 3 different shakes, a couple teas, couple aloes, and go over some of the products, some stories, and then other training events. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you, and I can send it to anybody that wants it because it's super little. But these are a lot of DMOs. I always, my sponsor taught me to try to do 2 to 3 DMOs every month, or not every month, every day that you're working towards on your 90-day plan. So on here, I just put focus on 3. You're doing it day in and day out for 90 days. Evaluate your results. After that 90 days, you might want to do that one again. You might want to increase your numbers or add different ones. Adjust accordingly after that 90 days. If it works, sticks with it. If it doesn't produce what you want after that 90 days, maybe a few changes. People will notice your results. Like Heather was saying, you've got to be working on always a new result. Let's see here. So where the button, we talked about that. People will ask you about it. Talk to people. I'm going to just read this, you guys, because it's super itty bitty. People you know, people you don't know. And if you haven't gone and just cold talking to somebody you don't know, get your sponsor, get a sideline. One of us will go with you, sponsor a sideline. It is scary at first, your first few times, but then it'll just get easier and easier. Flight attendants, restaurant, toll takers, movie clerks, UPS, FedEx drivers, contractors, where you get your hair done, lawyer, doctor, dentist. Just today I had like the best service from this lady at Dillon's. And one of my kids was like putting the little shopping basket in the air, and I'm like, almost hit the old lady next to us. I didn't say old, but I'm like, you almost hit the lady next to us, put it down. And the lady's like, would you guys like to be my helpers? Because they had to run back and get a product. So she let both of my little girls go behind and scan. One is scanning sweet potatoes, one is scanning onions and scan. So I'm like, you know what, you were so great with them. I want to give you one of my cards, and you can come in for a free shake and tea and tell her a little about it. And then after I left, I about kicked myself. Why didn't I say, like, you were so great personality, you would be great at this business? So I'm like, gosh, that's where I should have went with it, but get her next time I go in. So there's different ways, and so you're not just doing the products, business too. Again, center of influence, call them on the phone, write a letter, text, Facebook message. You know what your friends and family, what they're going to respond to. Retail referrals, run a promotion. I still have it. My old referral plan is if like somebody gave me 3 names and numbers, they would get like a box of soy nuts, or there was little things. If they gave me 5, they would get something else. If they give me 7, they would get something else. As a group, we've kind of done, if you get somebody that does a 3-day trial, from their friend that refers them gets $5 off their product. So there's all different things you can run to for referrals. Facebook groups, buy-seller trade groups, pull tabs. Like you guys might have seen those, like I have Dylan's, and I even put them, at Washburn before, like about the business and just something about Herbalife, part-time opportunities, and then I had little tabs with my phone number down. So that's what pull tabs are. Anywhere. Pocket ads for company flyers. Take one boxes, like you might have seen those. I've seen them a lot for fitness centers, like register for a free week, or you can tailor something for you. Notes to moms from the newspapers, from birth announcements, door prizes, raffles at your schools. Always great to give gift certificates for those, because if they redeem it, great, they're going to redeem it with you. If they don't redeem it, you're not out anything because it was a gift certificate. That's one great. Heather taught me that. I was like, oh, why was I making this basket of all this product, and they might not ever call me and know how to use it. Mm-hmm. So great ideas with that. Magnetic car signs, window stickers, door hangers. A couple of years ago, I had a picture of Callie going with me. Probably must have been a baby, so must have been in the stroller. But we went through like all this neighborhood right here, and then the neighborhood across, and put these door hangers. Like, come to our Tuesday. It wasn't healthy happy hour then, but it was something else. Tuesday at 6 or Friday at 3 I had, or come in for a free shake, tea and aloe. And we just every day we'd go for like 30, 45 minutes, almost at least a good month of that summer, and went and did those neighborhoods there. But you can do anywhere with those. Also talk to apartment complexes. Sometimes they have newsletters, and they'll let you put a flyer in it, or they'll let you put something in their newsletter. Let's see here. College, high school newspapers. Of course, weight loss challenges have 3-day trial parties, skin parties, shake parties, in-services. Does anybody in here not familiar with the in-service, or I'll just kind of go a little bit more into it. So, for instance, like my vet that I go to take my cat to, I went in and I was buying cat food or something, and I said, hey, so how many people do you have work here? And I think she said 8. And I said, okay, well, I'd like to bring you guys like a free lunch or breakfast. What works better for you? Explained where that I do Herbalife, and I gave him 4 flavors, and I said, so I can come Thursday or Tuesday, what's better? And he told me the time 11. So I came, I brought them all shakes. So usually this is just how I do it. You do it however you want. Usually if it's under 10 people, I'll bring them a full shake. If there's more than 10, I might give them like little half sizes. And the best part is too, like with that many people, I brought like a big jug of tea, and I brought like a big poster board that had some things about Herbalife. And so some of them weren't there when I brought it. I couldn't actually do a presentation, so I left it there in their break room. So that gave me a chance to go back the next day. And I left some of my business cards where they could come back and get another free shake where I could talk to them again. And then when I got back, it gave me opportunity to talk to, when I went back to pick it up the next day, it gave me opportunity to talk to more of the employees. So there's all different ways you can do it. It would be awesome if you can go in and do a little presentation while they're all sitting there at lunch. That would be ideal, but however you can do it. You see pins, water bottles, especially with Herbalife, our shaker cups, our water bottles. That's so easy. to just always have some sort of brand. Fast food mats, bowling alleys, booth at expos, flea markets, health fairs. So those are just some examples of ways that you can promote yourself, and then some of those are DMOs too. Okay, presentation, flipbook. If you have the flipbook, if not, you can download it online, so get with your coach on that. What we call hubs, or where you can meet with people, you can do it at a nutrition club. We're all in this room under Heather and Todd's work, so you can meet at this nutrition club anytime we're open. If we're not, you can check out a key. Coffee shop, Barnes & Noble, your house, their house, phone call, complete a wellness profile in person over the phone. If they're doing a 3-day trial, make sure you're scheduling that next appointment to meet with them. If they're not doing a 3-day trial, if they're just buying a 30-day program or products, if they're local, schedule a weigh-in, or if they're not local, or check in or call it, text them, call, whatever works, and then send them on their way with their products trial. The client will be experiencing your coaching and the Herbalife product. So you always want them to have a positive result. And then this I learned from Anthony at Go for No. It was a book, right, Anthony? Or you listened to it or read it, that you're not just going to try to sell them like the basic. You're listening to them, hearing what they're telling you. If they're having stomach problems, well, of course I'm going to tell them about the aloe. I'm not going to just have them buy a quick start. I'm going to tell them about the aloe, and then I'm going to realize, or I'm going to say, oh yeah, and the quick start doesn't have the protein drink mix. Well, that's much healthier than milk. So I'm going to tell them about all that too, because we want them to get best results. If they don't want to do it, or they can't afford that right now, then yeah, we always want to work in their budget, but keep going to help them. Full retail price, don't offer discounts, unless of course they're members and they can earn their own discount. Members or distributors. Ask for referrals, and follow-up. This is the biggest key. And I know when I first started, I could have done much better at follow-up. So you're delivering results to them. You're not just getting them on products, you're checking in on them, seeing how they're doing. And it helps build relationships too. But if you're doing a 3-day trial plan, it shows day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. And then once they're a retail client or a member, you're following up with them day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, and 21. So there's just different ways how you're following up. There's scripts on there. It's on the Team Impact page on the pinned post. Go to Get Started 247. And then another Jim Rohn quote, there's pennies in the sale and fortune in the follow-up. Because too, the more results people are getting, the more their friends are going to notice, and either they may want to go into business under you, or they may send referrals your way. Okay, so 90-day plan. So this is what it's taught to me when I first started, and then so this is how I teach people too. 2 to 3 DMOs, and then when I say PV, your personal volume goal, and then your org goal. Now, somebody who's not at 50% isn't going to have an org goal yet, but you do 3 months, because each month is 30 days. And then the PD under that is personal development. So it'd be what you're going to listen to or watch or read, or however you're doing your personal development. And then your level 10 results. So your personal results. Like Heather was saying, 5 pounds, 4% body fat. So that's probably her level 10 that she's working on. Everybody's different on what they're working on. So there was some ideas for DMOs, but get with your coach, do a 90-day plan with them, especially if you're newer. If you've been in the business for a while, you may be writing your own 90-day plan and then giving a copy to your coach, because they can help you be accountable to it. And then your PV goal, that would be what you're purchasing or what you're selling and purchasing for yourself. Your org would be anybody that's under 50% under you. So kind of what your goal is each month for that. And so Heather was talking about promotion. So if you're thinking of our next big event is the Leadership Development Weekend in October. So a good way to think of that is, okay, if I'm, like she was saying, if you're declaring you're going to qualify for bronze or gold or platinum, you can break it down by month, what you need each month to get there. So that's a good way to do your personal volume. And she was saying for Whitney, for Punta Cana, for her organization, so what she's going to need for her personal volume and her org to get there. So she's going to be tracking that each month. So it's a good way. If you're doing the DAP, which Heather hit on too, and we'll hit a little bit more on too, so that's a minimum 500 a month. So you're going to know you're going to need a minimum 500. So just work with where you're at, get with your coach, work with what your goals are. Personal development, I like to read. I know Monica likes to listen to books. So just whatever is going to work for you, what you're watching, and then your results.
Does everybody understand the PV and org?
And actually, the PV, I think you'll probably end up changing it to the, because it's the new language.
Oh yeah, the documented volume, yes.
Right, because our personally purchased volume will no longer, right now, only 2
Count on there.
qualifies us for anything. You know, they should Yeah, we hope that they'll change that in the future, which I think they will. But it's going to be more documented volume.
Yes.
So like right now, like if we look at our screen when we log in, it might say 5,000 points, but then it says
Documented.
unaudited documented volume. It might say 4,200 points because 800 points is either somebody that hasn't converted yet to a preferred member and should, or it's our personally purchased volume.
Good point. Yes. So think of PV as documented volume. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So the DAP, the Distributor Action Promotion. So any new distributor after July. The reason I didn't put the year is because last year that changed to DAP in 16, and then this year some new qualifications like Heather was showing you the Starwood Resort and the gift card, that was 2017. So I just left it July. It's 500 plus documented volume a month. Do this by getting 5 to 7 customers, and that minimum of 250 personally purchased, that's going to go away. But anyway, it shows you your prizes here. So you can get the Herbalife Fitness bag. You can get the personalized blender, a $75 reward, or they also updated a special edition big blender. So
Has
that's
anyone in
awesome.
here qualified for that? I have. Awesome.
Awesome. When did you guys qualify?
Last year sometime, I had that little blender.
Do you? What'd you pick?
I wanted the bag, but they are sold out and they went back stock or back order. So I got the blender.
Awesome. You like it?
I did. The motor does not last very long. It does not pump up ice very long. But I use it daily.
Oh.
So I actually bought one exactly like that at Walmart like a week before I got that, which I didn't know I was going to hit it. So I actually have both of them, and they're really great when I take it to the trainings with me. So, because I like mine shakes blended. I don't like to shake them, so I take a blender with me.
I mean, I got that bag.
Yeah.
I use my big blender because I have to have my shakes blended. And but I use this for other things.
Awesome.
Beverage makes them.
So yeah, just some cool rewards like we're saying, so building your own business or just reward for doing the same thing for 3 months in a row. 500 documented volume points, 3 months in a row. So here's example of folks in progress for hitting DAP. So Cherie, who's in the room, and then Nicole, who's not in the room, but we'll just kind of show where they're at. So Cherie right now, how it shows up on BizWork is personally purchased volume and then her downline volume. So she's in month 3 right now. That's where her volume's at. So she's going to hit it by the end of this month. Month 2, and then that was month 1. And then it shows how she got the personally purchased was from her personal consumption retail sales. Her downline was from 2 members. Month 3, she's hitting this month. Month 2 was June of 17, and month 1 was May. And then Nicole, this is her volume. Her month right now, she's in month 2. So her month 1 was in June with 1,036. Her month 2 was July, is right now where she's at. So that's what the asterisk for, because the month's not over. 544, and then August is when she'll hit it. So sometimes it helps to see people's real-time numbers up there. Okay.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi, Whitney.
Now,
Awesome.
now mute yourself.
Scare me. Okay, so here's the little house that Trey showed us at LDW that is awesome to help track where you're at.
Hey, Michelle, can I hit on right before you go into
Oh, yes. Anthony is going to tell a story. Yes.
Well, I want to talk about a story, but then also, because the story is really quick, because the guy shared it at Extravaganza. So for like the last, I would say, what? Okay.
Anthony's going to come.
So for like the last year and a half, as Herbalife's been going through this transition into the new way we're doing business, everybody's been so focused on preferred member, charter preferred member, getting members, and that's like what the focus has been on, member. So because we've done that, we've been so good at it, everybody's actually brought on a ton of clients. So now everybody's got a lot of clients. But what they haven't done is brought on what? Distributors, because we've been so focused on clients, right? So a guy at LDW or Extravaganza described it as when you're working with your preferred members and your clients and you're in a boat. right? When you're in a canoe or a rowboat or a kayak, what do you have to do with the oar? What do you have to do? You have to go right, left, or two right, two left. What happens if you're just going right, right, right? You go in a circle, right? So it's like preferred member, preferred member, preferred member, preferred member. Why is everybody else qualifying for everything? Preferred member, preferred member, preferred member, preferred member. Dang, I didn't get the vacation this year, right? Because we're doing preferred member, and that's fine. Like if that's the way you want to run your business, that's fine. But if you're wanting to do the other things, then you got to go preferred member, distributor, preferred member, distributor, right? So that's what we have to do, is be in our canoe and be hitting both things. And because of the blessing of the new preferred member program or distributor and being two separate contracts with Herbalife, now people, you have to actually talk to them about it. Remember how like a while back ago, when I say everybody, I want to include everybody in my own insecurity, but I remember being nervous about like almost being apologetic for talking about the business. Oh, I know you're signing up, but you don't have to sell anything. Like don't sell anything, just ignore that. Just go ahead and sign up. And people are like, but I don't want to sell anything. You're trying to trick me into a membership. Well, now you actually have to bring it up because they have to make a choice. So it's just a part of the process. And the best way to tell when somebody is even remotely thinking about the distributorship is when you're saying, you know what, the preferred member sounds like might be the right thing for you. And then they stop you and they go, but what if I want to change it? Boom. Right? Now all of a sudden you've got somebody in your pocket to be saying, okay, not now, but drip, 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 right, is what ends up happening. Because I know that was with Jessica, and that was with Sarah, and that was with Chrissy, right? So we all have that story. Then the last thing that I wanted to share is people that qualify for the DAP, and this is something they shared, and I'm not going to try to mess with that. I'll just share it from here. Yeah, I did. I sent it. The DAP qualifiers and their sponsors dramatically outperform non-DAP performers, or qualifiers. So the DAP is the Distributor Action Plan, right? So I took this picture at Extravaganza in order to show, because I always like these things, like what does it mean? What does it really mean? Because before it used to be that we tried to get everybody to qualify for supervisor. We still want everybody to qualify for as fast as possible. But what if you could build confidence as soon as possible, but hitting 500 volume points, then 500 volume points? Hi, Gracie. Right? So what you can see up there is, and you may be able to see the little 2 times. The 2 times is 2 times better activity after qualification, right? Because there's been a little confidence that's been built in. Yeah, there you go. And then 12 times a supervisor conversion rate. So if we're training people and we're talking about the distributor action plan on getting people only to do 500 volume points, right? When we say 5 to 7 clients, the average volume points per person in the world is 100 volume points, right? So that's why they say 5 to 7 new people. But we all know people are going to order 150 volume points, 200 volume points, right? So you go get your DAP, then you teach somebody else to do it because you just did it. Everybody has a 12 times better supervisor conversion rate. Like that's huge, right? And then 20 times better world team conversion rate. And we all want to get to world team, right? And then 5 times more downline a distributor also qualifying for the DAP program. And then 83% tab team. So that's like get team increase in the average, right? Those are huge numbers, right? What did Whitney do? So what Michelle just talked about with the DAP program, like it's a huge, like little numbers make a big deal, right? And if you go back and listen to old Mark Q stuff, that's what he talks about. He's like, it's great to have a home run hitter and that guy or that gal that's absolutely killing it, and that's great. But if you have a whole bunch of people doing 500 volume, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, those people never go away because they find success in that 500 volume points, eventually getting to supervisor, helping other people get to 500 volume points. So, go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you. All right. The little house that Heather's going to put up there came from Trey at our last leadership development training. And it's a good tracking that you don't have to create your own if you want to use it. Awesome. And it shows you, so your goal is 5 to 7 retail customers minimum. So making up your 500 plus volume points. So you can put their name in that first quadrant, their volume point for that month. Then your customer preferred members reorder. So the people you already have that are reordering would go in that quadrant. Your 2 new distributor customer base and how they're using the 500 volume points, and it'd be times 2 because there's 2 new distributors. So that's 1,000 volume points, putting them there. And then your 4 existing distributors with customer base would be from the months before if you've been continuing doing it. So some people, if you're newer, may be starting with your 5 to 7 retail customers. Maybe you've been doing it a couple months, so maybe you have some retail customers and some preferred members. It depends. You may have hit a distributor right off the bat. So you may have people in all 3 or 4 quadrants. It just kind of depends where you're at. But it's a really good way to make your house of numbers. And then Heather made one with Whitney, who's on the phone, and it's a really cool one that we can show in another training that has even a boathouse underneath because she's working her way up because she wants going to go to that Punta Cana vacation. So there's even more you can add to it. So this is just showing a way that you can track and get there and making up all your volume to get to that 4,000 volume points to get somebody to supervisor. And then just keep doing it monthly too, because you should be keep growing. The people that you have are sending you referrals, you're getting them results, so you're getting reorders from them, finding new people, talking to new people. Okay, reseeding. Has everyone in this room right now reseeded?
Just with you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what. Okay, so if you don't have the app, it looks like every single person does, and I know Vicki and Whitney do. That's the app you need. It has little bananas on it. Quick. And then how to get the reseeding. If you're doing it from My Herbalife, go to the main screen. You'll go customers, then receipts, and then you choose what you're going to use it for. Retail sales, inventory, customer direct, send right to them what you're using it for. So that's just
That pops up when you order too. I mean, we don't have to go through all
through
that.
there. Yes, that will pop up when you order your product. Yes. Like if you're going back to document a receipt though from something you've already sold and using it from the app, you can go that way. But yes, if you're just ordering, it'll pop up. So that's just quick reminder on that. So you can do it. Make the upfront decision that you'll get 1% better each day. If you were at Brad Harris's training last month, remember that 1% story he kept telling us? So 1% better each day. Be dependable, responsible, make a plan, do it consistently. So get with your sponsor, show them your 90-day plan, and ask them to hold you accountable. Do it consistently, day in and day out. Refine it, never stop learning, be persistent, hardworking. Success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Make goals, go over them with your sponsor coach, have faith. It's worked for so many, it can work for you too. So, all right. I'm like, all right, I need some water.
Okay, so now I think we're going to do our Q&A. Okay. Q&A questions, okay? So, I'm going to stop share screen. So, Vicki or Whitney, if you have questions, or Jamie, great, just on there. This is where we just kind of want to go over individual questions because truth is, if you have the question, more than likely somebody else does too. So whoever's talking, I'll just put camera on you. So where would it be at?
So Jessica asked a question.
Okay. So Jessica, go ahead and ask your question again. So
I was asking about how volume points really work in your downline now because I don't see it on the screen the same way I used to. So once they change things, I have Chrissy's under me. She was the first person that made full supervisor. No, that's not true. I had somebody else under me. But when she does an order, how do her points relate to me now?
Well, so she's supervising your supervisor. So now you earn royalties off of her. Now.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking about the actual dollars. I'm thinking about the points. So when I have to earn X number of points to get something, how do her points, if she places an order
It
for
doesn't.
herself or for somebody under her? It seems like I used to get, every time there was an order in my line somewhere, I got a point for that.
Okay.
And now
But
I
she's
don't.
supervisor and you're supervisor, right? That's what we're doing. Okay. So if I can go back to my board here.
Or maybe I do study them and I just don't.
You
So
do
what-
a different way.
Okay.
So just to kind of explain this then, okay? Because she's at 15, you're at 15. There is no more there's no more retail or wholesale to get from her or anything in her downline, okay? So, here's
You, and we're talking about Jessica?
Uh-huh.
Turn the whiteboard a little bit.
So that's-
Perfect.
Okay. So here's you. And KR,
ISSY.
Okay.
And then she
So-
gets several under her.
she's at 50. You're at 50, okay? It is a hard stop. She earns everything. You can only earn up to 50% retail. And then also at wholesale, you're now blocked from this for wholesale from her.
Right.
Okay, you're not earning retail or wholesale. Okay? So even though that Chrissy has people, so let's say, Chrissy, who's one of your members?
Paula.
She has
Chili. Let's say Paula.
Paula, okay. Paula is somewhere under 50. So let's say that Paula goes on there and she is a preferred member, sugar whatever, but she has documented volume of 500 volume points. That also counts for Chrissy's 500 volume points in her bucket of documented personal volume. It's your org,
Royalties.
Okay.
royalties. Okay, so you no longer are going to get any volume. The only way you're going to get volume is if you personally purchase something, okay? Now, you'll start collecting volume. That doesn't mean it's documented volume because you have to make a receipt for it, or it might be personal consumption. But just because you personally purchase it doesn't mean it gets to be volume that's counted for you anymore, okay? You also get volume because of your preferred members, okay? That's automatically documented. So anybody that you have underneath you that might be ordering a 200 volume points for a preferred member, that's part of your bucket now too, okay?
That's part of my personal.
Like
Personal
Rose.
volume. Yeah,
Okay.
personal volume.
So when
But
she
anything that
orders, I'm
happens
still
under
getting the
Chrissy-
1-for-1 point.
That's why I was asking you when I saw her little cups, and they look like they're
Uh-huh.
coming from here.
Uh-huh.
We want people ordering from their distributor, not always going into a shake club.
Right. Yeah, so anything under
She
Chrissy now,
Good.
Chrissy, and anything that happens under Chrissy will not come to your personal volume, will not come to your volumes at all. It's now royalty, organizational volume. It's the big picture. You're the start of something awesome. It's one of those things that are going to grow. This is going to move you up the marketing plan. You're going to earn higher royalties and all that stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and specify something. You're not going to earn any money on Chrissy unless you do have documented volume. Okay? So how you earn royalties. I don't want to go over anybody's head. So if I go somewhere, stop me. Okay?
They have to do a minimum of 10,000 volume points a month to earn any royalties.
Exactly.
No.
No.
Stop.
Okay. You earn 5% royalties, right? 3 levels deep. Infinitely wide. So it's not just Chrissy, you got other first line, you're going to be signing up this month, and it's going to go infinitely wide. And as far as down royalties is 5%, 3 levels deep. To get all 5%, okay, 5% is 2,500 documented volume points in a month. You have to do 2,500 documented, personally purchased, it has receipts, or personal preferred members that have receipts, or a distributor who's receipting, that's not quite a supervisor yet, that counts for there too. Okay, so a qualifying supervisor who is receipting.
So the 42 percenters
Yes,
is who you're
as long as they're receipting. Okay, they are receipt, and then nobody gets that volume. That's just
Yep.
silly. But let's say that you are working hard to get 2,500. You really are, and you did really close, and you got 2,000 something, but not 2,500. You will get 4%. Okay, that must okay.
1% per.
Yep. 4%, 3, 2, 1. So if you do 500 documented volume points per month, you'll get 1% of whatever Chrissy and everything below her happens. Okay? If you get 1,000 documented volume points, it's 2% in Chrissy and everything below her. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's actually how 5% royalties actually works. Anybody have any questions?
Now, could you explain to her, I mean, because your first thought might be, well, you know, I'm not going to benefit off Chrissy.
So
You know?
honestly, I was bummed. I was happy for Chrissy when she hit her 50%, but I was bummed because I knew I was out money now. I'm like,
You know, the cool part
I was
about
making
this,
a lot of money on
this
her.
is exactly why someday you can explain to somebody why this is not a pyramid.
The royalties is what, I mean, that's where Heather started making her $10,000 a month, was because of royalties. And trust me, we didn't understand it either when
Todd didn't understand royalties till we got Tab Team, and they sent him $1,000 check extra, like on the 20th.
And he
Like,
got interested.
"Now, why did we get this?"
Now,
And so then we explained it.
now
Yeah.
explain to her, if you want to know, what happens if you don't hit your 2,500? What happens if you don't hit your 1,000? Explain to her where those royalties go next. Because if she's not going to get it, where are they going to get it?
Okay. So the question is, Whitney and Vicki, did you hear Todd?
And Jamie.
Jamie, did you hear Todd what he said? If she only gets 2 or 3% because she didn't get all 2,500 documented volume, it's called royalty roll up. Okay, and so royalty roll up. So the thing is, I don't even know where you're at. If you're third, my fourth line, or whatever it might be.
I'm right under that.
So Chrissy, so if she doesn't do
So
2,500.
you're my second line, right? And so, and she's my third line. You don't do it all. Well, anything that actually rolls up to them.
Okay.
But then actually rolls up to my second line instead of my third line. So everything rolls up something.
Okay.
So the thing is,
So I'm not working it, and Chrissy is working it, he's making money out
he's making more, I'm making more,
And I'm
my
not.
upline's making more.
of it.
So, yeah,
It's not
So
the
we're-
same. You can't just sit back and do
there
it.
is always this 5% doesn't go away. The cool thing about Herbalife and that is the fact that they're not keeping this 1 or 2% because you didn't do it.
Uh-huh.
It's getting paid out to somebody. So this is actually a very ethical thing for Herbalife to do. It's not saying, well, you didn't get it. Where does this money go? Herbalife just gets to keep it? No, Herbalife will always pay out.
But since you're
That's the
supervisor, your mindset should be, that's my money.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yes.
I'm going to work a little harder to get my money.
I like Evie and Anthony. I like Heather. You don't even know Jill.
I'm not giving you guys.
Right. I'm just telling you, if you're their first line, you're my second line, you're Jill's third line. You don't even know Jill.
Uh-huh.
She definitely didn't work anything. Have you ever heard from Jill? Nobody in this room has.
We did once.
Well, it's okay. So it's something where, so that's awesome for Jill. That's one of the things where, you know what a cool thing about Jill? She does 2,500 volume prints per month. You know what? I know that because I see her on my statement. You know what she does? She has adopted some special needs children. She works from home. She also likes to breed dogs and stuff like that. And she does her $2,500 a month, and she collects her royalties. Does she get enough to collect all the get and stuff like that? No, we passed her up. But she does collect a pretty nice check every month. So the thing is, she does her 2,500. She retails. She personally intakes. She has results. So if all you ever did was 2,500, and that's what you want to do, and you want to collect royalties, and you want to get all of yours from what the work you did, do $2,500 a month, or 2,500 documented volume per month. What does that mean? That means getting 5 to 7 customers this month, and I don't mean to be a broken record, but this is proven. 5 to 7 customers this month, you got 500. Even if you're starting now, oh, but I did it in the past, and I got to redo it. Yes, and you're going to start this month by getting 500 documented volume points by getting 5 to 7 new customers. And then you're going to do amazing follow-up like Michelle was talking about. So you have that 500 because you can do follow-up. They're going to at least order that again, probably a little bit more, but at least that. So then you got 5 to 7 new customers next month. So that's another 500 volume points. So you retain the 500, you're at 1,000 in 2 months. That's saying that everybody that first month only ordered another exactly what they did before. But some might become preferred members. Somebody might become a distributor because you talked to them about creating extra money. Hey, did you hear about Chrissy, somebody on my team? Do you know what she's making now? And you repeat the story. Well, yeah, she's making this money, and I showed, we're doing this money, and we're making this extra stuff. You should join us. You should come to Tuesday night, hear more about the products. Here's some stories. I got this person you really got to meet. Distributor trainings this day. These are things you're saying now. Not only are they doing 500, they're doing their own 500, 500, 500. And they're not supervisor yet, so 500, 500, 500, bam, 1,500 just came up to you. Now the thing is you're going to keep earning because anything's going to happen. They're going to go to supervisor. You still need 2,500. That's okay because you got a whole nother Chrissy. Do you see how that just can grow? But does that make sense on why her volume doesn't show up in your volume pot? And the thing is, you want to earn off of that. Okay? So where are you at? Where do you need to go? This could be a month. This could be a month, next month, whatever you want it to do. 2,500 minimum is the ideal for a business builder. That's a minimum. 5,000 says, I want to qualify for things. 7,500 says, I want to qualify for everything.
10,000 says you want career level income.
Yep.
And you want to design the life.
And only you can say that. Oh gosh, that's a lot. I don't think I was duped. She says, well, so your next level is to start doing 10,000 a month. So I did 10,000 the next month. I came up short that first month. I did 6,000 volume points. I didn't realize that part of that 4,000 back then, the rules were the 4,000 that I did to get my supervisor didn't count towards 10.
Heather didn't tell us any different when we started. I don't know if she told us. I don't even know. We didn't even know anything. We just started going. And when we qualified for our first extravaganza, the volume points that we had to qualify for was 40,000. We got this medal and all this stuff, and we were even standing in the wrong line. Like, we didn't know, because we didn't know. And they're like, no, you belong over that line. But we didn't know any different other than do 10 to 12,000 volume points a month. And Heather didn't treat it like it was a big deal. She didn't like, and I'm not saying that as far as as not as an acknowledgement deal. She just like, yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. Because that's what you do.
Right, because that's what they can do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, oh my gosh, you're doing awesome. And I classify them as high volume distributors. If you go on Facebook and you become friends with people, do you know some of these press team members, that they're getting recognized by the people for these high volume numbers, right? I considered Michelle a high volume distributor. I consider Blanco's a high, volume distributors. I consider Cooks a high volume. These are people that I know that can do it and that do it. And so I won't say I expect it, but it's like, that's what they do. And that's what, and Whitney's going to say, and Whitney's now the high distributor too, but she can't see me, because it's what she needs to do. And so the thing is, she doesn't have a choice. It's not like it came natural maybe to me. I don't want to say it came natural. I didn't know any different. So natural or not, that's what I do. That's what Blancos do, And then the thing is, once Michelle built her way up there, and then she was told, well, I guess look what you can do. She's like, yep, I can, So it is what they can do. So the thing is, you decide what your numbers are going to be. And that starts with LDW. Are you bronze, silver, gold, platinum? Nothing is not attainable by anybody. I mean, you hear those stories. Oh, wow. Some of those amazing stories. So, okay, another question.
Any other
I
questions?
have one for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I know I threw this out to you last week, but does anybody know if you can split an order? So when you go in and when you order, can you split it for inventory versus personal consumption, or do you have to order separately? Okay, that's what I thought, because I called Herbalife and asked, but I wanted to see if anybody had done it because I wanted to make sure she understood my question.
You could be able to put it on 2 different credit cards, and I tried to help a client do that the other day, and it wouldn't let us.
No, I did that today, actually. Because I was,
member.
no, not
It was
preferred
you're
member.
good under hers.
Okay, no, this was actually to my cousin. She was ordering some product in Kansas City, and because I want her to try Simply Probiotics, and she buys regularly, if you're at 50%, your Simply Probiotic costs you like $13. It's one of those things where I want you to have this, Jamie. I want you and your daughter who's had some issues to have this and do this. So I use my card for $14 of it, and then I used her card for the rest of the bill of the thing. So you can use 2 cards in that way, but that was on my site.
See, and I was going to call Herbalife, so we ended up, because I was helping a preferred member order, and she had 2 cards she was using, because she had so much amount on this card and so much of this, and we tried everything, and it would not like it used to. So maybe just distributors can now, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I'll call Herbalife. Once I find out, I'll let us know at our next one.
Yeah, there's a blue line, and it said something like split between cards, and that's why I clicked on it. It gave me 2 options to put on each. So
I'll call.
Yeah, I've done that before. I think I was ordering something for inventory, and then I had some of my own personal consumption stuff in there, and then I was like, wait a minute, can I do that? And I couldn't find a way, so I called Herbalife, but I wanted to make sure that the lady had understood my question. So that makes sense.
sorry, I guess the answer is no. Sorry.
No, you can't.
Any other questions?
Stacy, look like you have a question. She's like, quit picking on me. I'm never calling again.
Not yet. No, I want to come
Okay,
again.
good.
August 24th, 6 o'clock p.m. to 8:30.
And we know you have chefs in your family, so bring him with something yummy.
Yeah, we don't know what the food will be yet.
Yeah.
This night was top of the
The last thing that as we close up, and there's a post that I made that I found this other weekend. which that's a story unto itself. Like I was out running and bumped into another Herbalife distributor in Iowa. Like literally, we were running down the same street and she's wearing a CR7 Drive hat. And so it was just one of those really cool things the week after Extravaganza to run into somebody randomly in a whole different city. So that was pretty neat. But I had an opportunity to share with her a video I just had watched literally, I think that morning on the compound effect. So if you guys haven't watched that, it's posted on Team Impact, and I highly suggest that you go on there and watch it and show it to anybody that's interested in the business side, because so many people, and you can watch that Darren Hardy and you can see, you know, oh, this guy makes $5,000 and you make $50. This guy makes $5,000 and you make $200. You make $5,000, but then you'll see how it just compounds and where it grows to. And another good example is like the water pump. Has anybody ever ran like one of those old farmer water pumps, right? And then you pump it. What happens? Like 2 or 3 times you pump it. What happens? Nothing. You pump it like 10 times. What happens?
Little drizzle.
Little drizzle, right? And then pretty soon it's like pump water, pump water, pump water, pump water. And then you're like, great, I got water. And then you stop because you got water, right? Then what happens if you go back to pumping? What do you have to do? Pump it. You have to prime it again, right? So that's what we have to do. And that's what we have to get our distributors to understand is it's a consistency. It's pump. You don't see any water. It's a pump. You don't see any fruits. It's a pump. You keep on pumping until you start to get water, and then understand if you stop pumping, water stops coming out, right? So go on, watch that video. I thought it was really cool. It's only about 7 minutes long. But besides that, does anybody else have anything to add?
Confession. I've never done that thing.
There we go.
Heather's napkin, and they say everything duplicates, and Heather did that for me when I first started, but it was like totally overwhelming because my brain was not on total control of Herbalife nutrition. But I want to just declare that I'm going to practice that with Heather and get comfortable at that. So I challenge other people. If I'm the only person who's done this business for 6 years and I've never done that, you all need to do it too before you get to 6 years, because you're going to be way more successful than I am.
And you'll find your way to do it. It needs to be something similar to that. Don't add a whole bunch of things that, you know, in fact, you could even take something away from that. It's just a general gist of showing somebody, here's all the ways you can make money. This is the most important part, is the side over here that says all the ways you can make money. The rest of it is if you can get their name and put the name in it and stuff like that. That's because here's what Jill did to me. She's like, okay, get a blank piece of paper. Okay, at the top of the page, put your name and put a circle around it. Right now you're at 25%. That's what the circle means, is you're at 25%. Okay, draw a line down, name a friend. I remember it was Jamie, you know, and I put Jamie. Okay, draw a circle around it. You know, so she went through this. Okay, now change your circle into a box. So this was done on the phone, detail by detail like this. But the thing is, because of time, I didn't put circles and then write over it in boxes and stuff like that. Now you're a supervisor and everything stops there. But the biggest part is this. And the thing is, you know the rest of the marketing plan. You got most people here, they probably know somewhat of it to it. Did I explain to you how much organizational volume you needed to be global expansion team, millionaire team? No, because my gosh, that would just be too much. In fact, I try not even to emphasize the names too much, just that these things exist. And I want you to know, like around here, you're making $20,000 a month. I know how ridiculous that is, because before I was even making $10,000 a month, I'd say, I know that's crazy. That's crazy money. Stupid money is what I call it, you know. But I just want people to know there's this possibility out here. You can have it or not have it. And your name's on this piece of paper with it, you know. So I do think that everybody can at least say, this is different ways to make money. I started at 25. Here's how I made to 50. Oh, here's how I made to 50. You know, if you're a supervisor in this room, here's how I made to 50. That's where you can start. And then the rest of it is, and so my upline, Evie and Anthony, they're actually here, and they make this per month, you know, and their upline, Heather, they're actually here, they make this per month. This guy I know in Kansas City, he's actually here, and he makes $45,000 a month. I know that sounds so crazy, insane money, but it's somebody you know. It's not one of those things where, and there's these people that live in this other country that's so ridiculous to make this much money. No, somebody you know, make it personal. And make it sloppy, you know, and everything else. So it's just something where I saw Mine kind of changed these little boxes and stair steps because I saw Enrique do that. And I'm like, oh, I like it that way better. I used to do it a different way. So, yeah, it's something where so that's good. Are you challenging everybody to do it to somebody else the next week? Show somebody
Definitely before the next training.
okay, show somebody the marketing plan on
Maybe
a
I
scratch
can do
piece
the
of paper.
board next training.
There you go.
There you go.
I would like
if
to
you want to
see.
know it, you do the training on it.
Yep, I would like to see how you do it.
So the next
And it's cool
training,
because you guys are all going to be here because you guys want to grow what? Royalties.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can be like, wow, well, she didn't ever do it before, and look what she's doing now. And I've never ever done that.
Yeah.
So
We might be getting folding tables in here and chairs and eater potlucks. I like that.
so the next training, the next distributor training is August 24th. Okay. Same pat time, same pat channel. Same idea, probably healthy potluck. We want to do that again? Is that cool?
Somebody has a great idea.
Okay.
Stacy's husband, then let us know.
All right.
Hey, wait, since
Oh.
Anthony's got really long arms.
And there's
let's
one
all-
more
Let's all
thing.
stand and do a picture.
Right in front of
Behind
the
it.
TV.
Yeah, we're gonna do the
with
front TV.
but-
Hey, don't hang up,
Wait,
people.
somebody's coming up bathroom. I don't know who.
Jessica.
Jessica. Just in time for the picture.
Can Jamie get her picture up?
No, she's on
No,
the
she's
phone.
driving.
You know what? He has a good picture. We'll
Yeah.
Well,
screenshot
and I
it.
already got one of the screen too, so if the screen doesn't look as good, I can put it behind it. Here, get it. Get it here, Stacey.
Everybody make sure your chin is not behind the head. Monica.
Well, I'm not. You look crazy. Monica.
Ready?
You crazy.
Okay, go.
Something crazy. Yeah. Got it. Monica.
Look at yourself in the window.
Oh wait, my hand's blanking Heather. Hold on, go again.
Ready?
Heather, go. Stacey, you're not in.
Okay.
Did you smile, Jamie? Good.
Yeah, don't hang up.
We'll screenshot her face right to there.
We're done, Whitney. Look at me. Still frozen. Oh,
Okay,
buddy.
stop